For my needs assessment, the macro need that I researched was having job training inside detention centers so that inmates are prepared for job security upon their release. Why did I choose this topic? I have a lot of experience working with incarcerated individuals because I did work in the Monroe County Jail for 2.5 years. It is also a community of people I have seen re-enter the facility time and time again because they don't have proper resources to secure a job after their release. Lastly, it is a topic that I am very passionate about and would love to see more interventions that can help this group of people be more successful when they enter society. It seems that a lot of time this is a community of people that is forgotten because it carries such an intense stigma. Many people believe that when somebody commits a crime and they're locked away in jail, they're not around us, they're not bothering us any longer, so we don't have to worry about them. But this is not the case. They need the same rehabilitation that anybody else would need when they're released to society. It's just that vicious cycle of they commit a crime, they get arrested, they get charged, sentenced, they go to jail, they get released, and the process starts all over again. So I think it's important that we have job security training for them while they're still incarcerated so that when they are released, they have the training that they need to be successful outside of jail. Some of the barriers that inmates face while finding a job is they lack confidence. Many of them are in there for substance abuse. And when you get a job, many times drug testing is a common thing that they want to see, and this can serve as a major issue for them. The criminal records and the stigma that surrounds a convicted felon. We all know that it's so easy now to go on the internet and search anybody's name and you can find a whole bunch of things about this person. So when you have a criminal record and it's that easy to find, their employer is going to see all of that. They also have little or no job experience. Many times they do find that you can make more money on the streets, so they don't bother getting a job, or if they do have a job, it's for a very small amount of time, and they don't have the best job records, so there's no one to vouch for them that they are successful workers. They have lack of resources like transportation and access to computers and the internet. Many of these people have done so many years in jail, they might not be strong with technology. When they get home, they might not have access to a computer because nobody that they know or themselves own one. And we know that many of these job applications now are online. So this could be a big struggle for them. A lot of them, when they're fresh out of jail, they don't have family to help them. They don't have any friends close by, so transportation is a big issue as well. They also lack education because many times they go to jail maybe at a young age. They spend a lot of time in jail and they never got the proper education. And because they don't have the education, they also lack skills that these jobs may need. Why is this topic important? More than 1 in 100 inmates are incarcerated in the United States prisons and jails, and 40% of them will return to prison after release. Finding a job and holding a job is the hardest challenge for inmates that are re-entering society and keeping themselves away from crime. The White House recently cited a 2018 study which found that 27% of unemployment rate among people who have served time in prison. There was a qualitative approach that studied ex-inmates' job placements that did not have any job training. The data in these records show that there was a total of 3,225 previously convicted inmates. 43.6% re-entered the job market in some form after their final release, while just under half of these obtained employment that lasted less than 3 months to a year. There was a total of 22.9% of the former inmates that reoffended and 33.4% that never registered even having a job. This shows that we do need job training inside of these prisons, so the inmates that are re-entering society have what they need to be successful finding jobs to help them stay off the streets. Some of the things we currently have in place, we have a program called Employ. This is a re-entry program that examines the the re-offenders and post-release employment outcomes. They collected data from 464 offenders that were released from prison in Minnesota. The follow-up period was 28 months. The analysis of the study showed that participating in employ, the ratio for re-offending was 32% to 63%. Employ also increased the odds of getting post-release employment by 72%. Another thing that's currently in place is the Biden administration is working on plans to invest $145 million over the next year to support job skill training, as well as individualized reentry plans for people who were incarcerated in the Bureau of Prison Facilities, in a first of its kind partnership between the U.S. Justice and Labor Departments and the White House. Ohio currently has a program for inmates that teaches them how to do jobs with the field of energy efficiency, the economy, which are the green jobs. These green jobs that are taught in prison offer correctional facilities a chance to help inmates enter their field upon release. With that being said, this could lower the rates from partnership and reduce energy use. These statistics as high as 67% for the rearrest rates with 3 years of release. It is important to have more training opportunities like this. So as you can see, some of these programs that are currently in place, when inmates have this type of training, they are much more successful upon their release, and they actually have a better chance of finding jobs, keeping their jobs, staying off the street, not being rearrested. So this goes to show that these programs are very important for inmates. Inmates are not prepared without job training. Without this training, formerly incarcerated individuals face severe barriers to economic mobility. The average unemployment rate among people who have been incarcerated is 27% higher than the total United States unemployment rate. That is at any time, anywhere. It's always much higher. Matter of fact, criminal records account for 34% of all non-working men aged 25 to 54. Lack of education, housing, financial security, retirement, and many other metrics means people who were previously incarcerated are at the bottom of the socioeconomic ladder. This means that they stand against the vicious high rates of reentry. Research has shown that individuals who participate in vocational and educational training while in prison were 43% less likely to be rearrested and 30% more likely to be employed soon after they were released from prison. One thing that we can do moving forward, the first step that we must take to get more training programs in jails across the United States is to make it known to other people that this is a serious issue we are facing. This means we must talk to the community members to get them informed. Professionals in the field must take initiative to talk to other professionals to get them aware. Community members share their ideas with people that have a common interest. So people that someone else that might feel this same way about the prison system, we might talk to them and get them interested. Community members talk to professionals, and the community and the professionals must work together. Word of mouth is one way to get things started when pursuing interest of creating more job training opportunities in prison. I believe the people that we need to reach out to are the wardens in the prison throughout the United States. We need their approval first so they can propose something to the state for final approval. The only way we can do this is by showing the statistics that have been included in this paper on how job training with job coaches has a lower re-entry rate for inmates being released from prison and jail. It is also important to show them the high success rates of incarcerated individuals of gaining employment and staying employed after release. This is a great way to invest money and time to inmates because they are readily available with incarcerated and prepares them for a better future away from crime. Again, we need to make people aware. You may find ex-inmates that have turned their own lives around that are willing to go speak to other inmates inside of a correctional facility. People who are willing to go inside the prisons and jails and set up job markets that can give inmates an idea of what is out there for them to do after being released. This is a way to start social networking between employers and inmates. Having training inside the facility can help social networking to be placed with a job before they have even gotten released. So as you can see, job training has improved the chances of inmates getting jobs pretty quickly after they are released from a prison. And it is very important that we provide these resources for them so that they can have the opportunity to change their life around and stop reoffending and get on their feet and be great members of our society.